Hi everyone. Let's talk about Pinterest spam filters for a minute because they're going crazy right now and shutting accounts down. And most of them are coming, they're allowing them to come back if you appeal the ban, but some of them are not. And we never really know why, but the reason that Pinterest does this is that they don't want people to be spammers on Pinterest, and they have certain things that they look for that they will ban accounts for. But every now and then they turn the spam filters up, and it's usually in the spring or the summer. So generally in the summertime is when I'm really careful on Pinterest to not post too often and not post the same thing too often. You don't want to post the same URL. I wait a week in between, and then I'll post it maybe for a month, like 1 week in between, and then I'll stop and I won't post that URL for a long time. But a lot of people are very aggressive with Pinterest these days because they're trying to use it to get more traffic, and they don't understand that Pinterest might let you get away with posting a lot for a while, but then in the summertime they turn their spam filter up. Now, it seems to have been turned up a little early this year because in the last week, I've heard of a few people in my Pinterest class and in other places who have had their accounts deactivated. And pretty much all of them have had their accounts reactivated once they file an appeal, which, Pinterest will send you a message that says, your account has been banned for spam. And they always say it's because of spam. Now, I personally have had my main account banned twice, I think, for spam. But, it's both times I appealed it, they just reinstate it. When someone actually looks at it, they reinstate it. So it's basically bots are shutting things down. A human will look at it and reinstate it. I had a new account. It was a brand new personal account. It was not a business account. It was just a normal Pinterest personal account. And as I was setting it up, it banned me for spam. So it's not always the most accurate spam filter, but they definitely do turn it up in the spring and the summer. And it's really early this year. And I think that I know why. And I will talk about this more with the people in my Pinterest class. I do have a Pinterest class, so I'm not going to get into a lot of detail here. But I think that Pinterest is basically trying to counteract the spammers that have started to move onto Pinterest to get traffic as a result of a big Google update that happened in September, I believe, of last year. And right now, as I'm recording this, there's still a big Google update going on. It's really wrecked a lot of like website traffic. I won't say spammers, but basically people who are going to get their Google accounts completely shut down are moving to Pinterest because they want to kind of separate their traffic out. They don't want to just rely on Google for traffic. They're moving to Pinterest, to Facebook, to Instagram, to email lists. They're all trying to get different sources of traffic, and Pinterest is one of the ones that they're looking at, and Pinterest doesn't like that. So the best practices on Pinterest to not get banned for spam is number one, don't pin a lot. People go onto Pinterest from having zero, in their account, a brand new account, they'll start pinning 30 times a day. That doesn't look natural. You basically want to avoid anything that doesn't look natural as far as activity on Pinterest. So pinning that much does not look natural. And Pinterest knows that, and they'll just come and ban your account. And when the person then comes and looks at it, they might not let you reinstate your account. And I have heard in this recent wave of bannings that one person got a message from Pinterest that said, nope, final decision, you can't have your account back. And she is not in my class, so I can't ask her exactly what she was pinning and that kind of stuff. But it had to be something that when a human looked at it, it did not look natural. So you have to be careful not to do things on Pinterest that don't look like you're a normal person pinning. And they know that you're a business, but don't spam. Don't be a spammer, and it'll be okay. If you do get shut down, they will reinstate your account. If you are spamming, they might not. And you will lose all of the work that you've put into it. So just don't take the risk. It's not worth it. The second thing that you need to do to understand or to avoid being banned by Pinterest during their spam waves, their spam bannings, is to remember that Pinterest is a long game. And I say that, everybody says that, but people still come in and they get mad if they don't get a lot of traffic in a week. I'm talking months is a long game. Okay, so I started a new account for a blogging program that I'm in, and we're doing kind of a case study on it. I started that at the beginning of December, and it is growing very slowly, which is exactly what you want. You don't want to come in and have this huge spike in traffic because that is unnatural. And unless your niche on Pinterest is really 100% suited for Pinterest and you have you're targeting specific things for Pinterest, you're not going to get that big spike, but you can get consistent increases in traffic, and that's what you're looking for over the long term. You don't want to come in and do something that looks unnatural, and you don't want Pinterest to come in and look at your account and say, oh no, that's not, they're spammers and we're shutting your account down. Because again, if I've been working on this since the beginning of December, that's January, February, March, so it's basically just 4 months, so it's not that long. But I'm starting to see more of an uptick in the traffic for this account, and that's what I would expect to see after 4 months. And then after 6 months, I would expect to see a little bit more. And at like 8 months to a year, I would expect it to actually be getting decent traffic. And you have to expect it to take that long. Don't get mad if it doesn't work after a week and everybody quits. That's not how Pinterest works. It's not social media that you get immediate responses. It takes a while. Right, so that's the second thing. Don't expect instant traffic and expect it to take a long time. All right, now the third part of not doing anything unnatural is be really careful with the, you follow my account, I'll follow your account, we'll share each other's stuff all the time, because that does look unnatural. If the only accounts that you're sharing are like a certain number of people. Let's say you're in a group of 15 people and all you guys do is share each other's stuff. You pin each other's stuff. That doesn't look natural to Pinterest, and they can see the patterns. Pinterest can go in and look at the patterns and see that what you're doing is very repetitive, or you're only sharing from certain accounts. And that's what you really want to be careful of. Again, it's not natural. And Pinterest wants people to come onto the platform and behave in a normal way. So think about how a normal person who isn't trying to sell something would use Pinterest and use it that way. And yeah, we are businesses, so you are going to go on and schedule a couple of things. But I don't schedule more than 2 or 3 pins a day, and I try to keep it to 2 at the most, even for my really established accounts. Because when you go over that, you might see a bigger spike in traffic sooner. But then comes the spam filter and you get banned and all your work goes down the drain. Try to keep your activity on Pinterest natural. Don't go crazy and just like pin certain things only. Try to, it's actually a good idea to get a personal Pinterest account so that you can see how it works for people who aren't selling things. I was going to say normal people. But yeah, so those 3 things will kind of keep your accounts not banned. But you do have to be careful. And sometimes you don't do anything wrong. Like I said, when I started a new account and I hadn't pinned anything, I had just made a couple of boards. I hadn't pinned anything to them and they banned me for spam. So something was triggered. A human looked at it and said, no, you're not spamming. Here's your account back. But you don't want that to happen if you actually are a business and you've put a lot of time into it. So you might not be doing anything wrong. But as long as you're kind of keeping in mind that you want to use Pinterest in a natural way and not load too much up, just don't be a spammer. That's basically what it comes down to. Don't be a spammer. You'll be fine. And if your account does get banned, just file the appeal that comes in the email that they send you that says your account has been blocked or whatever it does. And when a human looks at it, chances are they will reinstate it. And if they don't, then you have to start from scratch, and it really stinks. All right, so leave me any questions, and I will talk to you later.